Hey everyone, welcome back to Carrots and Olives. My name is Brittany, and today we are going to talk about changes to my planning system. So, when I initially talked about this guy about a week and a half ago, I pretty much completely moved out of my rings. I was not really using rings on a daily basis anyway. Before I moved back in, I was heavily inspired by Love to Plan Lori on Instagram and just how she was using her pages, and it really helped me to get back into my cousin. So I think I did go through many of the pages, but what I like to do when I go into a new planning system or whatever planning system I am in, I always try to create stickers that will work best for me in that planner. So, of course, it only makes sense. I've now created stickers for the Hobonichi cousin size, and I said I was going to do this, and I finally did get it done, and I really, really like it, and I have no intention of getting out of my cousin. Let's get started. I'm in my cousin. Things haven't changed. I am still doing the weekly layout, and then the monthlies are still kind of just what's going on during the day. Now I have more things to put in when it comes to like my son's school, and yeah, so that's pretty much what that is for. I need to put something down in here. The pen I'm using the most is my Muji and my Klena, which is attached to my traveler's notebook. I am making stickers for specifically for the Hobonichi, but also the stickers I currently have fit well in the Hobonichi also. So I do have an October kit, some October vellum, and then just more sticker kits. I did make monthly kits. So here's just an example of my recent release of the Harry Potter kit. Hope you can see that. And I really like the idea of adding color, but also staying minimal at the same time. So not adding too much not too much stickers, which it was my goal when I created these. So they are like one sheet kits and things like that. Now when it gets to my weeks, I'm still doing the same process, just writing down some memory keeping, but also anything that is important to remember for the future. So I am planning, but also documenting. And at the top here, let's see, I started using my headers, which I sell individually now as well. So I really like these pink ones. And I have 4 different color schemes. I find that when, sometimes I don't want to use a lot of stickers, and then some days I do. So hardly any stickers here. I did put some headers just to give it some color. And some days I feel like putting a bottom washi. So you have that option. So I am pretty much using my dailies for documenting what happened. So I have just all these notes. I also write down like what my son's schedule is and what he has to bring to the computer and things like that. And actually that's going pretty well. And so blank page, I hardly put any stickers. I really just stick to photographs and like here of my kids, and then I just write a little blurb of what happened during the day or something that's associated with the picture. So that's pretty much how I'm using my Hobonichi. And what I found that I am missing is that I don't have a place for like my to-do list. It was really bugging me. I didn't realize how much it would bug me that I didn't have a to-do list. on there. So what I've done is decided to use my traveler's notebook, the brown that I got earlier this year, and to use one of the Sumking notebooks, which is the slim, and use it as almost like a Bujo, but not as in depth or not as detailed with all the flourishes that a Bujo can have. Mine is very basic. Just have lists. I don't even have any stickers hardly in here. So I did have this created for myself, and I've also included an October one, which is going to be the freebie in my shop for the month of September. And as we get into it, I am using the table of contents as I move through the notebook. And then I have a key, and I have this key in here so that I can easily just take it off and use it when I need to, or just flip back and forth if I need to. I have torn out a couple of pages because I've been back and forth on how I really wanted to use this notebook. Simplicity, very simplistic. Like, this is, that it doesn't seem like that's me. I did have something stamped on here, and I didn't want to tear out another page, so I just covered it up. I don't know. I do have like future log, which I'm not entirely sure how I want to use this. I don't want to fill it up with just birthdays. I have like other places I can put that in, like in my Hobonichi cousin. I think I really want to focus on important dates that I need to remember. And I need to add 2 more months down here at the bottom. So I started with the month behind. I'm really starting this month, September. But I added August, and then I'm just going to go through to however many months I can. I have mentioned this before on my Instagram that I intend to use the book to its fullest. So if that brings me past and into 2021, then I will continue to use this into 2021 before starting a new one. So I have that there as reference. Here is just a really simple setup. And what I've noticed, I had to glue the pages in between here because I wasn't happy with the gel pen I use. The gel pen I did use was an Arteza gel pen, and although they write super smooth and they're super thick ink that lays on the paper, these kind of ghost, and I don't like the way that they ghost. I don't know why. I don't like it, but I just don't. So I know for next time that I'm going to probably stick with my Klenna to make these lines for my calendar. And yeah, so this is just for September, which is the month I'm really starting. I needed to make notes starting Sunday, which is when I first opened this notebook up again. And so I figured I'll keep this here, and then I'll give myself the 2 days so that I have room to write down my to-dos. And I really love this. Very simple. It is highly inspired by Ink Imperfections on YouTube and Instagram. I know she does do a little bit more than I do. I just want it super simple and just a place for me to write down my to-dos and reminders. So here is where I decided to do a weekly spread, which I'm not so sure I like. This may not be something I need. I think I may just stick to dailies just because I do have like my weekly in here and my Hobonichi cousin, and this is just, it doesn't appeal to me right now in this format. So I just am going to stick to the days and writing them down as I see fit. Although I did write these 2 days separately, I think that I'm not going to write the next day until I know that I have either filled out the page or didn't fill out the page, and then start with the next day. I don't want to waste too many pages, even though I think this one has, 260 pages. So if on one day I have a very short list, I will still continue the next day on that same page. And then I have a to buy list. And that's pretty much it. I don't have any tracking. And in fact, once when I get my new cousin, I'm going to be doing the tracking in here in my cousin, since it has the pages for it. And I didn't really do tracking on those pages. So that's my plan for my cousin for 2021. And I'm really liking this simplistic setup. I'm sure as time progresses, I'm going to make it complicated and start adding doodles and things like that. But overall, the idea was just for me to be able to find a place where I can write a list and be able to save that list and work off of it and push things to the next day if I need to. So having just like a piece of paper wasn't going to work for me. It kind of frustrates me to just have a piece of paper that's just lying there with all my lists of to-dos and then throwing it out. I don't know. I feel like I need to save it so I can reference back to what I've actually done. This one I brought out because these three I am using pretty much on a daily basis. This one, as you may know, is my journal, and it is the Sojourner Roadrunner, and it is gorgeous. I have a couple of marks on it, but not too many, which is kind of odd for me because I love the way that this marks up over time. But if when I compare it to my other one, I know my other one had marked up way more than this for the amount of time that I've had this notebook. Just because I was doing more things, obviously, and I did have another job, so I was on the go all the time. So I would always just toss this in there in my bag, and it would get scratched up with key rings and keys and everything like that. So I am still using this. I'm still in the same cover. I did order another cover from Sojourner, and I still have a cover I'm waiting to get from Croatia, from Bujo Planner. Hopefully it comes soon. I know the delay is due to COVID-19. But yeah, so I am still using that same method of adding stickers. The notebook I'm using is the one from Galen Leather. At first, it was a little awkward when I did fit it in here because the cover has leather on it, right? And also the spine is round. I don't know if you remember that or not, but the spine is round, and so when I was setting it down, it just didn't lie as flat as I was hoping it would in this cover. But now that I'm probably almost a quarter way through the pages, it is starting to lie more flat. So it just needed to be trained. And sometimes with this stiffer leather, when you close the notebook after writing in it, the front cover will get stuck. And I experienced the same thing with my B6 Slim, and I would always, every time I would close it, I'd always kind of move it like this so that it would kind of shimmy back to where it should be and won't be all like folded back. That helped, and now I don't have that problem. So it just took probably a couple weeks of doing that, and it now closes perfectly. I can hold it right. It closes without issue, and it's just like the perfect journal. It feels pretty substantial too. So anyway, that is the update. I am using these three. My plan is to buy a Hobonichi cousin for 2021, to continue to use my Sumkeen into 2021, until I'm done with all the pages in this notebook, and to continue to journal in a cover. I'm not going to say it's always going to be a sojourner, but to continue to journal in my B6 and to move in and try to fill in all those other B6 Tomoe River notebook that I reviewed on my channel. I am still waiting for my B6 Pygmy to get here. I have no idea when that's going to ever happen. Yeah, I hope you guys found this helpful and interesting. I've noticed a lot of people on Instagram who are returning to a bound notebook or trying out the bound notebook system. And it's cool. It's fun how I can kind of see a shift a little bit into this kind of system. So anyway, I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye!